All right, guys, today I'm going to show you my brand new Tacoma build out that I did. The truck is a second gen, it's a 2010 Tacoma, and I actually just recently put new suspension on it because the old stuff was completely clapped out, and new tires. I did the Bilstein 5100s all around for the shocks, and then Old Man Emu coils in the front, and a Icon, I think it's RXT leaf pack in the back. And I left out the extra leaf, but I actually think I'm going to add it now because it's squatting with the extra weight that I have. But that's the truck itself. I'll start actually in the cab here. So Sadie and I are both videographer, photographers. She does weddings and works for a company. And so one of the key things that we have to have is camera gear. So this is my camera gear here, my primary box, and then I have like drones and tripods underneath, and then shoes. And then she has the same thing over there, and a little cooler that we kind of use for our day-to-day food while we're driving. And then in the middle here is a huge Jackery 1000 battery, and that is again because we have to be able to charge stuff, charge our laptops, everything like that. And then I'll show you back here the other uses we have in the camper, as well as it's able to charge off of the 12 volt while we're driving. We also have a solar panel back here. So that's pretty much it for the cab. And then I've got this cool little bag here that's just for laptop, books, maps, whatever. And then actually here's the thing for the back. So this is just a little tiny heater, space heater. We haven't actually used this yet because it's kind of something I'm going to try out, but little space heater that can be plugged into the Jackery just to kind of take the edge off of the cold on really cold nights in the camper. And that'd probably only run for, I don't know, a few minutes, and then we just shut it off and yeah, be good to go. So back here, this is the Go Fast camper. So I'm sure you guys have seen them around. It opens on all three sides, pretty cool, and it's very sturdy. I think it weighs like 270 pounds, so it's actually not much heavier than like a typical fiberglass camper or the canopy style thing. That's what I used to have, and so we got rid of that, got this. And the primary purpose of this is not only just to protect what's underneath, but then also the tent on top. So I'll show you that here. Ultra quick to set up. Just pop these two levers and then let the struts do the work. Goes up in, and it has a door on each side and a door in the back. And right now we actually have our sleeping bags and extra like backpacking pads just stored up here. So when we're done in the morning, we just collapse it down. And so to get up in there, you can use this ladder that I have right here. It's an extendable ladder, and it just latches into those little mounts there, or else you can actually go up through the inside, and I'll show you guys that here a little bit later. All right, so the actual build out. So I really wanted something that would help organize my gear, prevent it from slopping around, and then also if I'm by myself, have a way to store my mountain bike in here to where it's also not getting flopped around and chancing breaking the frame or parts on that. So this is what I came up with. It's a two-piece design. So it splits in half, and it's connected up at the front with bolts in the middle, and then turnbuckles on each corner. So it's locked into the bed. Then obviously the sides and the back prevent it from moving around significantly. But the general overview, I've just got a water tank here. This is just bungeed on. That's so that I can easily take it in and out to refill it. And then this is a big old drawer. Got slides on either side. This is a lock right here. And the slides, I think they're rated for around like 100 pounds a piece or something crazy. So more than I will need. And up here's the kitchen. I've got a Jetboil Genesis system, which is like an all-in-one cook kit. It's got 2 burners and then a pot and a pan. And haven't used it much yet, but I've been super pumped with it. And it's like way more compact than my old setup, which was like the standard, Coleman or Camp Chef style. And then I've got a standard Jetboil in here, and that's just for making coffee, things like that. And my AeroPress grinder, and then knife and a few other utensils. So that's that right there. And then this is kind of the prep area. So I just got a cutting board, big heavy cutting board that can be moved around, taken out to cut things. And then underneath it, it's got 2 runners, so I can slide it forward to back. And down here, I just store a bunch of, I've got like table, chairs, right now my biking shoes, a little fishing net, backpack, stuff like that. So just a bunch of extra storage inside of here. So that's the drawer. And then over on the side here, we've got a little compartment, little cubby. That's where I keep my fly fishing pack. So that's all my flies. And then up underneath, going up over the wheel well, is my fly rod. So nice little convenient place to tuck things away. So that's the drawer. I also made it so that I can access it from inside of the bed. There's a little trap door here. And so you can reach in to, you know, grab the kitchen supplies and whatnot in case you want to hang out in here on a really, you know, bad weather day, stay warm, stay dry, whatever. So then the other side, and I actually think this is my favorite side. On the side here, I've got an axe mounted. This is a, you know, almost a full size like Gerber axe. These are just the quick fists to hold it on there. And then this whole tray slides completely out. Whoops, my strap caught that. Working out the kinks in my system. So now these are also heavy duty sliders. It's incredible how much weight they can carry. Right now this is a fully loaded cooler and this thing is just set here. I do have tie down points on 4 spots on here so I could tie it down, but I like it just to be easily slidable so I can, you know, pull it in and out to use as a chair or a table. And then, yeah, it's just a really nice cooler. And then back here, because on this trip we're going to be doing some mountain biking and maybe some backpacking, this is just a tote with a bunch of extra gear that, yeah, it's for bike packing and all that. And we've got a nice little Rhino line, like rubber mat thing here. That way it's not getting, the wood's not getting beat up by stuff getting slid in and out. And then up inside here you can see, so this is all one unit. It slides in and out, and I cut out the base of it so that I would reduce the weight just a little bit. And then I put this wall up here just as a divider so that I could have this as just a little garage of sorts to store stuff. And so over here I've got, first we got a 100-watt solar panel, and this matches with that battery that's in the cab. And so if we do stop somewhere for a long time and we need to recharge, just open this out, set it on the roof or on the ground or whatever, and it's got little kickstands. Plug it in, it'll charge at up to 100 watts. And again, because we're biking on this trip, got a bike pump, also convenient because I don't have a compressor, so I can use that for my tires in a bad situation, which I had to do a few weeks ago, and it took forever. Is that ladder. And then I've got, this is a big awning. So this is kind of a universal awning. It can go onto the back of any car. And for now, until I get a real like 270 awning, this is kind of just worst case scenario if it starts pouring. And then I got my trusty old broken handle shovel. Broke this handle like 10 years ago, cut it off, and have used and abused it since then. It doesn't have to be pretty to work. Then lastly, some traction boards here. If you aren't familiar with these, they are basically just, they go in front of your tire to provide a surface that the tire will grip onto if you get stuck. And so it can help alleviate the need to winch yourself out or set up a come along or get pulled out by somebody. So good to have. I haven't used them much on this truck, but I've definitely seen them used and work really effectively. We're going to go over here. And then up here, I just have my toolbox, and this is just a full, you know, socket wrench set. And then I've got a tire repair plug patch kit up here, and then an extra bag with just a bunch of extra wrenches, tape, odds and ends, and an angle grinder because, I don't know, that's what the cool people carry, I guess. And in case I need to cut something like my mud flaps and stuff that are still rubbing because my tires are bigger. And this is the bike rack. It's nothing fancy, it just tilts away so it gets out of the way of the tailgate, and it functions right now, but I do want to get one of those swing away styles, so I've been looking at options there. But this took me actually not that much time to build, and it's all just done with pre-finished birch plywood, 3/4 inch primarily, a little bit of 1/2 inch, and it took me a few days and really not that many different tools. You could certainly get it done with like a drill and a skill saw and a jigsaw, really. So around here, I want to show you guys 2 things. One, the tent, how you can get in and out of it since it is pretty slick, and the second being the bike carrying system that I came up with here, which I'm pretty proud of. I also carry this little buddy heater. So this is just a propane heater, and again, I only will use this just to take the edge off, you know, at the when you first get into the camper at night, and then maybe in the morning to just warm it up a little bit when you change. Okay, so to get into the camper, like I said, you can use this ladder, and if you're using this, it's got these two little arms that just pop out, and then you just extend it up just like that. Then you climb up, and nice and easy, you get in. Like I said, sleeping bag pads are already in there. If you don't want to use a ladder because you don't have it, or you're by yourself and it's just easier not to, the really cool thing about this system is the panelized floor. So you can see right here, there's two squares, these two, and then there's this big white rectangle. And all three of these pieces pop up and out, and you can arrange them however you want to into this rear portion of the bed. So they're kind of tied together right now because I have this little hanging web to hang my guitar in. But you can pop the floor up just like that. And you can take both panels, pop them up. And then go around this point right here. And then you've got standing room in here. It's really tall. I can, you know, not even touch the highest point up there. And so if I'm by myself, I just leave it like this, leave the floor out. That way I can get in and out nice and easy. You can change down here standing up. And then when you go to bed, you just hoist yourself up, and you've got a nice, I think it's over 7 feet long platform to sleep on. And these have pads already built into them. And then, yeah, in our mind, I had that van before this that I built out, and that was pretty nice. But we wanted something that was more nimble, more off-road capable, like this truck is, but still potentially be able to weather, I guess, bad weather if it comes. And so this is kind of the solution. So it's kind of like a van of sorts. So if it's really cold and a bad weather day and it's both of us, I can pop this up, slide that right there, and then now we've got this entire space back here. So plenty of room for 2 people. So then again, I can get in, grab my kitchen supplies if I want to. If I have a cooler in here, that'll work as a table. If I don't, you know, there's plenty of different spaces to cook on. And then we could work back here, since Sadie and I both have to spend quite a bit of time on our laptops editing and dealing with client work and whatnot. So that is pretty much the main build out. And then lastly, I'll show you this battery system. So if you are driving, there's a cord, 12-volt cord plugged into your cigarette outlet and then into the back of this thing, and it turns on, it keeps going. If not, again, you got this solar panel. This also plugs into the back. And then we've got 110 outlets. You've got USB-C and USB-A, and you've got a 12-volt outlet and this little light. And when you turn it on, it tells you on the screen what the current percentage of battery, and then how much is coming in and out if you're plugged into things that you're charging. So that's the battery system. Now I'm going to show you my favorite thing that I came up with on this build, which is the bike carrying system. So if I'm by myself, or if Sadie and I are together and we just want to keep our bikes inside of here, then I can. And to do that, I just have to throw the cooler up onto the side up there and any extra gear onto the side. And then for me, my bike has a through axle. So I just spin that bad boy out, put the axle back in, put my dropper down, and then this thing just goes up here into that guy. Boom, just like that. Latches down. And then I can throw my other wheel up on the side and strap it to it. And then there's enough room here to where I can put Sadie's bike going the opposite direction, so the handlebars this way, right here. And then the bike is out of the weather, protected. It's not going to be flopping around, chancing breaking something on the frame. And it is a lot safer if I'm in a city where I think people might want my bike more than I do. So that is it. If you guys want to see more, go to my website, roadtoridge.com. That is where I share details on stuff like this, as well as other information on adventures and gear and stuff to make you more confident when you're going on trips like this. So thanks for watching.